CNN because he crossed the ADL.
Oof.
And then he got his mind right, because now this is the kind of stuff that Mark Lamont Hill tweets. He said Elon Musk's attack on the ADL is dangerous, dishonest, and deeply anti-Semitic. He has turned this platform into an unprofitable white supremacist cesspool. Instead of taking accountability, he has chosen to not so subtly scapegoat Jews, which invites violence from the Nazis, his Nazi base. So Mark Lamont Hill is a complete tool of the establishment. He got his mind right. Once they fired him from CNN for telling the truth about Palestine and Israel, that was it. He's never going to do it again. He's never going to cross anybody in a meaningful way, because he likes his position in the establishment. Because you want to know the story that happened to him? They fired him in wakes of criticizing Israel and calling for a free Palestine. They fired him. CNN fired Mark Lamont Hill on Thursday after the longtime contributor made comments about Israel during a UN speech. Hill, a media studies professor at Temple University, had drawn scrutiny for calling for a free Palestine from the river to the sea. Some mainstream Jewish groups, including the Anti-Defamation League, the ADL, expressed frustration with Hill's remarks, which also included endorsing the boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement against Israel. So you can't be for BDS. Yeah. That's anti-Semitic, according to the ADL. Fox News also fanned the flames. Hill has been pushing back against the criticism, arguing that the detractors were ascribing to his statements meaning that wasn't there. In my speech, I talked about the need to return to the pre-1967 borders, to give full rights to Palestinian citizens of Israel, and to allow the right of return. No part of this is a call to destroy Israel. It's absurd on its face, but that's what the ADL does. They pretend that you're saying things you're not, so they can silence you and control you. My word choices caused harm. I take seriously the voices of so many Jewish brothers and sisters who have interpreted my remarks as a call to an endorsement of violence. So he got his mind right, and now he says stuff like this. He was saying that it is absurd on its face, and then he went, I'm sorry.
I've been re-educated.
I didn't know this other stuff. So he didn't want to lose his position at his colleges, at his universities. He didn't want to lose his position on boards. He wanted to be invited back on television. And that's what that is. And that is sad.
And he's sitting there wearing a shirt that says free.
Free.
When he's tweeting out stuff that's probably written for him.
That is sad, sad. And so here's what he says now. Elon Musk's attack on the ADL is dangerous, dishonest, and deeply anti-Semitic. He has turned. So here is what Max Blumenthal said. He said, many in the replies are wondering why Mark is sucking up to the ADL, the racist organization which tried to destroy him over his call for Palestinian freedom, for which he pathetically apologized, and whose leadership loves to humiliate insufficiently pliant black public figures. Here's my theory. Mark is a member of the professional left, which is based heavily in the nonprofit sector of academia. In order to secure foundation grants for the NGOs and or tenure-track academic jobs, professional leftists must maintain respectability in the eyes of the liberal establishment. Elon and the bad orange man signaled to the elites who propel their ambitions that they are ultimately on the same side, while enabling them to still appear radically anti-fascist among professional left peers. And that's from, I don't know if you know, Max Blumenthal's Jewish. He's written a couple of books on Israel, Palestine, and I think he's dead on right there.
That's so well said. It's performative. It's a performance. It's like they're putting out their own little bat signal to the elites, letting everybody know where they're at and who owns them.
Yeah. So Mark Lamont Hill has a shirt on that says free, right? While selling out to the Zion Nazis, right? He sits there with a shirt on and it says free. A black ADOS man, right? American descendant slave man, sitting there and selling out with a t-shirt on that says free on the front. Proves what? Oh, he's also a college professor, right? So Jimmy Dore exposed him for what he is, a sellout and a coward with no conviction. Just like Barack Obama, just like the Congressional Black Caucus, just like Cornel West, right? With his rainbow foolishness, control opposition, sellouts, right? sitting there with a shirt on, mocking people like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, with a shirt on that says free, while these men got shot in the head, got set up, because they wouldn't be sellouts. He's sitting there selling his mother down the river, basically, right? Everybody he know, so he can make, I guess make, 100, make six figures and work at Harvard or Yale or Princeton and be around a bunch of these and be in diversity. He said his leader is Joe Biden, Jim Crow Joe, a man who attempted to put his people in concentration camps for the foreseeable future, in ghettos, right? And use the legal system, right, to throw them into poverty and crime and then strip them of their rights, right? So they could be persecuted even more, right? And he sits here with a shirt on that says free on it in this article. Showing what? Mark Lamont Hill is not free. No black person in America is free. He just proved a point. It's actually a prophetic point. He said, in the Bible it says, when the Lord of hosts comes, right, you shall be found in the hands of your enemies, pretending to be free. But if you do anything, you end up like Mark Lamont Hill or Kanye West or somebody else or Kyrie Irving. You see what I'm saying? You running back and forth with a t-shirt on, talking about freedom, talking about you're a Pan-Africanist, you from Africa, right? You got freedom, you got equality, you got diversity, right? While you sitting there with a shirt on that says free and you selling out your whole goddamn community. You selling out you selling out Martin Luther King, people that died because they wouldn't bend. Or if they, like Martin Luther King, he bent, but he said, look, man, fuck that. I ain't going out like that. Right? Same with Malcolm X. He was on the street selling drugs, pimping, all kinds of lame, wild shit. Selling all kinds of shit. He said, I ain't going out like that. And he walked into the light. He walked toward the light. It cost him his life, but it was worth it. You see what I mean? It was worth it. You see, because you save your own soul that way. If you go to the light, you can save your soul even if you did wrong. You see? The universe respects that type of thing. You see? So it'll rejuvenate you even in your death. It doesn't respect hypocrites and liars and sellouts and bootlicks and coons, right? And Instagram whores and all that kind of shit, right? Trying to take the easy way out. Right? I'm just saying. The universe is not going to be rejuvenating that kind of thing. Not into another, you know what I mean? There's no, it's like the Bible says, once you have been told the truth, there's no more remittance for sin. Meaning you will be destroyed because you knew what you was doing. Mark Lamont Hill knows what he's doing. You see, he tried to do the right thing, but when they pressured him, he folded like a wet napkin, which basically disintegrates. Then you can't even fold a wet napkin. I mean, that's how bad Mark Lamont Hill is. The Negro in America will sell his own mother and father. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Let me just put that out there. That's why most Negroes in America, the Bible, this is prophetic. The Bible said they are 2/3. Well, he said 2/3 of my own people shall I destroy. Mark Lamont Hill with the free t-shirt on. 2/3 of my people shall I destroy for their treasonous behavior. For harboring this sickness in your heart and you can't let it go, right? Because you're too scared of poverty, right? And death and fighting. You don't want to fight, right? The fight gonna come to you no matter how far. Trust me, I've been there. The fight, you can run, but you can't hide. Wherever you go, there you are. The fight is gonna come to you. Mark Lamont Hill. There's no getting around it. You shouldn't go out like that, sitting there with being a hypocrite with a shirt that says free, while selling out your mother. This nigga will sell his own mother out, right? The Negro in America, all of them are just like Mark Lamont Hill, Kyrie Irving, all your see, this is called buck breaking. All your so-called A-list, right? Alpha male, what do they call these guys? All these titles. I guess you're making 6 figures, you're in the NBA, et cetera, right? You Kanye West, and all of them are buck broken. So they took the best of the best. Your best of the best, your top talent, whether it be physically in the form of Kyrie Irving, your athletes, academically in the form of Mark Hill or Mark Lamont Hill, or artistically in the form of Kanye West, and they buck broke them and turned them out in America. You can't deny that, and don't get mad at me for pointing it out. That's just reality. That's what I do. I'm a Buddhist. We have to, look at reality as what it is, not as what we would like it to be. I don't want Mark Lamont Hill to be a sellout, right? A buck-broken sellout, but, it is what it is, right? And what makes it so bad is he has a pulpit, and they'll say, well, Mark Lamont Hill is a role model. Barack Obama is a role model. Mark Lamont Hill is a role model for your children. Fuck that. They are not role models for your children. That shit is blasphemy. That shit is pure blasphemy to say people like Mark Lamont Hill and Barack Obama, right? And, take your pick. Any of those kind of Negroes are role models for your children. Right? Kanye West or Kyrie Irving, any of these people are not Muhammad Ali, they're not Malcolm X, they're not MLK. They're not built like that. They don't have that they're not cut from the same cloth. Mark Lamont Hill is not cut from the same cloth. He talks about white supremacy. He should just stop talking about it. He should just be fucking quiet and collect his check and go shine his shoes and collect his check and go sell out his mother. Trust me, I got him in my family. I know I'm around these I'm just saying. Most Negroes, Mark Lamont Hill is like most Negroes, 99% of Negroes in America. Well, here's another figure for you. 2/3. That's even better. Let's get prophetic, let's get biblical, right? So let the Bible be true and let every man be a liar, I quote. So, Mark Lamont Hill is a 2/3. See, he's like the 2/3 of the Negroes in America. Look around. If you're in a room with 3, Negroes, 2 of them is not gonna make it out of America. One of them might be you. That's biblical, right? That's the prophecy. 2/3. What does this say? See, all these Christians, they believe in the Bible until it start hitting home. Then they don't believe in the Bible no more. Then they follow Barack Obama. Right? They following Mark Lamont Hill, putting on T-shirts and talking about freedom and kente cloth, right? And all this jokey shit. This shit is a joke to them. Trust me. These people are fucking insane. These people will sell out their own children, their own mothers, their grandparents, their aunts, their uncles, their cousins. I mean, look at Mark Lamont Hill. I'm just saying, if you saying you being facetious, right? You being mean. I'm being mean to Mark Lamont Hill and all of the Negroes like him. Or am I just telling the truth? I mean, Jimmy Dore, even the white man know it. Jimmy Dore know it. Him and the white woman sitting there laughing at his ass. Right? Sitting there laughing at him. Look at this clown. Look at this Negro. This Negro sell his own mother. They don't have no respect for him. Even the white Jewish man came on and talked about Mark Lamont Hill, Kanye West. A white Jewish man, Max Blumenthal, and Kyrie Irving. He's like, man, these dudes is buck broken. These dudes are sellouts. Mark Lamont Hill is a sellout and a bootleg. He's just like the 2/3 of the Negroes in America. The people, when you look around on your job, and it's like, ain't that many Negroes probably in there, but if they in there, most of them are like Mark Lamont Hill. It might be you. We know at least 2/3 of them are. Why? Because the Bible says so, and it's prophecy. They're not going to make it. So I don't have to ask what's in your heart. The Lord already told me what's in your heart. I believe the Bible rather than men. That's what it said, right? That's what the book said. Nigga, stop quoting the Bible, nigga. I know. That shit hurt, don't it? It's like holy water on a vampire. Somebody told me that. That shit is like holy water on these vampires. Right? Rather to believe in the Bible and believe God than men. I found that to be a true saying. You see? And as a Buddhist, I made a vow to go wherever, to follow the truth wherever it takes me. If it takes me into the Bible and I find truth there, I have to say, this is the truth. Why? Because I took a vow as a Buddhist into myself, into the self, right? So if I hadn't see the Bible and I see something that's true, I have to admit it. I can't hide it. I can't say, well, no, that's false. No, it's absolutely true. Mark Lamont Hill is 2/3. And most of the people you see around you on your jobs, if you count 3 Negroes, 2 of you, it might be you, but 2 of the 3, you're finished in America, right? You know that looking at them, they would sell their own mother. When I see Negroes, I kind of stay away from them. You know what I mean? I kind of shy away from people in general because I don't trust. Like Tupac said, don't trust nobody. And I don't trust no fucking body. Why? Because I believe God rather than men. And I believe when he said these motherfuckers are 2/3. And they're like Lamont Hill. They'll sell their own mother when the time comes. Go watch the movie Batman with the Joker. He was outlining the same thing. Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger? Yeah, and the Joker, the Dark Knight. He's saying the same thing I'm saying. It's true. You put these motherfuckers under pressure, they'll sell their mother. Their mothers will sell their children. I know, I was one that was sold. I'm a child that was sold. You see? So, in America, the 2/3 Negroes will sell their own family out to be Americanized. You see? To be with the politician and the priest, right? And to be a part of a system that is destroying them from the inside out, right? That's why I said the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Never be trying to do good. Like me, I don't try to do good. If it just, I do something happen to be good, oh well, right? But never try to do good things for people. Just be yourself. Shit happens, whatever. Let the cookie crumble with, whatever. Right? Never be a missionary. But I ain't I'm gonna get off of here, man. I ain't gonna make this too long. But Mark Lamont Hill, he's a clown. Right? Mark Lamont Hill is a clown. He's a sellout. He's teaching other people. They say this man is a hero. This man is he's a professor at a college. This the type of man you want teaching your children? He's a professor at a college. He's the news commentator. Right? He's telling you vote for Obama, vote for the Democratic Black Caucus, vote for Joe Biden. You know Joe Biden's a segregationist, right, Mr. College Professor? I mean, I never finished school. I'm just a stupid nigger, but you do know that guy was a segregationist, right? And hung out with the KKK like they were his best friends, like best BFFs forever. Ride or die at their funeral. You do know that, Mark Lamont Hill. You niggas that voted for Biden and Obama, you do know that, right? All you college-educated Negroes. You do know about Joe Biden, right? You people will sell these Negroes in America, I mean, it's just a PSA. I'm telling you, I've seen it from my family to politics to work, on the job. These Negroes everywhere, they're just like Mark Lamont Hill. And they walking around telling you about freedom and democracy. Mark Lamont Hill is I love it. Jimmy Dore, yo, people keep calling him a racist. And he's this, that, he's a Trumper. One thing I will say, he's frying these Negroes, right? He's cooking these Negroes on his show. All these sellouts. Cornel West, Mark Lamont Hill, he's frying these Negroes on his show. And is he lying? Not at all. Now, what's his real agenda? Who knows? But is he telling the truth? Yeah, even a broken clock is right once a day. He is charbroiling Mark Lamont Hill and Cornel West. As the sellouts they is. That's why you don't be a hypocrite and a liar. And, you know what I mean? Because when you do, there's always a record of it. So either just repent and go forward and try not to do it, but don't be like Mark Lamont Hill and these rest of these people. Because you can go roll a tape back. People have been around for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. They know what you've done and what you haven't done. The flip-flopping and all kinds of bullshitting. You know what I mean? They say keep it real. They're not going to keep it real with you. They're going to sell your ass down the river like Mark Lamont Hill. The Negro in America is finished in America. I'm going to say this and I'm going to go. The Negro in America is finished in America. Not because I said so, but because God says so. The Bible says so. Mark Lamont Hill is an example of it. And on and on. The migrant crisis. The immigrants. The Nazi, the white supremacy that Mark Lamont Hill tap dances around. Right? The people that got him fired are the white supremacists. He won't call them out. Mark Lamont Hill is of no use. He's just throwing these buzzwords out, right? And so he can tap dance and make money. While working for the same white supremacists, he claim, and Nazi this and fascist that, right? All they doing is misdirecting you from the truth. It's a psyop, right? And it's just like leading you into a black hole. Black people, the Negro is finished in America. You see, the prophecy says so. Why? Because you want to be like Mark Lamont Hill. You want to be like Barack Obama. You want to be like Mark Lamont Hill. You want to be like, fill in the blanks. Oprah Winfrey. You want to be like Kyrie Irving. You want to be like Kanye West. Why don't you be yourself? It could be something much better, right? You want to be like these people, never worship celebrities. And these people, when you turn around and see when the pressure hit their ass, they start selling out their mother. How much you want for this old bitch? You know what I'm saying? How much you give me for this old bitch? Right? They'll sell their mother out, their fathers. Dude, trust me, I'm going to say something, man. I'm going to get real with y'all. I was like that. That was me. I would sell my own mother when I was on the street at a certain level. Right? For real. I saw myself becoming a cutthroat motherfucker when I was on the street. When I was growing up young and hungry and wilding out. You know what I'm saying? I was on the verge of doing a lot of wild. I've done a lot of wild shit to motherfuckers and was on the verge of doing a lot more. You see? It was only God that kept me from not being locked up for the rest of my fucking life. For saying, look, man, go down this path over here and just give it a little time and I'm going to show you something different. I'm going to show you something about yourself that's going to fucking amaze you. And you don't have to die here with these people. Not yet. You got to go, but not yet. It was only by the grace of call it God, right? I mean, and so I understand like that cutthroat vibe, backstab vibe. You know what I mean? Do anything for money, fame, fortune, to get ahead. Selling motherfuckers out, stabbing them in the back, right? Cut motherfuckers' throats, right? Doing whatever, ready to do whatever it would take, right? As they say, to get my respect, right? Ready to do whatever it takes and not giving a fuck. See, that's, and then when you had to go, when you get to that point, like you walk to the edge of the cliff and you don't jump off, and then you walk back from the cliff, and you realize what these people have done to you. You see, when God rejuvenates you and you don't end up like Mark Lamont Hill, right? And you realize, right, like it says in the Bible, right? Abuse, I'm paraphrasing, right? Abuse and mistreatment makes a wise man angry. You walk back from the edge that these people was pushing you to, and you look and you say, what the fuck was they, what the fuck, what have I become? Look what I've become. I'm becoming a monster. They're turning me into a monster. They're turning me into a fucking monster. Right? A toxic fucking monster. That's what this place does to you. Right? That's what it does. You see, it turns you, look at all the people, right? Like you look at Black China. She tried to change her life. She went to doing all kinds of wild shit, prostituting herself, all that crazy shit. Then she wanted to get away from that, change her name back to her regular name, get rid of all that, get her child back. You see, this shit turns you into a monster, into a mutant, into into a wicked form of who you really are, right? A fucking monster. And when you walk back from the edge and you realize what they were trying to make you into and who did it, who's responsible, right? I mean, self-accountability is one, but environment dictates behavior. Any psychiatrist will tell you that, right? So we gotta, understand what's happening. You have to understand what's happening to yourself. These people are turning you into a degenerate that you will sell your mothers and sell your fathers out. These people took my children and turned them against me. Now they'll sell out their own father. Trust me. That nigger, how much you give me? If you give me 5,000, I kill him. You know what I mean? Like that type of shit. They take your children. How much you give me for them? 25,000. Shit. Sure. Take this nigger. They'll turn your own children against you. Right? And those kids will sell you down the river. They'll turn your own mother against you, and she'll sell you down the river. This is the beast, right? This is the Antichrist. This is Satan, the devil, right? This is his system, right? That perverts people in this way. It leads to bussy and Nazis, right? And perversions of the soul and the spirit of the human being, right? Where you turn around and you wind up like Mark Lamont Hill, right? You can't get right because they won't let you, nigga. And if you try, we're going to turn the screws on you. Just like Mark Lamont Hill, and you're going to be walking around with a shirt on that says free while you sell out every fucking thing that you ever known in your life for a slice of the devil's pie. It's good, ain't it? Right? Black people in America sold their soul to the devil. You see? These people was just fucking with you when they said go back to Africa. They didn't mean that. They control Africa. That doesn't mean anything anyway. Black people sold their soul in America. These immigrants, everybody run across their border. You came here you are a sacrifice for the devil in America. That's all you are. You're about to find that out soon. Right? That you all sold your soul and to be Americanized. You don't have no spirit left in your body. Your spirit is, when you look inside, see your spirit, you see an American flag and an American eagle. That's right, you've been Americanized. That's just when you see white Jesus, American flag, and an American eagle. You don't know who the fuck you are. Right? You have no idea what's going on. You've been Americanized. Your spirit been destroyed and perverted. You've been turned into a hypocrite and a liar, right? And a sellout who would sell their own mothers and children and family out. You just got to get the price right. It's unfortunate. That's all I got, man.